Mike and Roman's Kayaking Adventure!
As many of you know, I like to be outdoors and do kayaking and hiking. And coming to Iowa, I was wondering, one, if there'd be anywhere I could do these things, and two, if I would find any other grad students who'd be willing to go. And so I started asking around, and then one day, I meet this guy, and he says,
I am Roman. I will go kayaking with you.
So of course now, I have a Russian guy to go kayaking with. I'm thinking, great, we could do some of this. So, me and Roman went out hiking a couple times, and then we decided we planned this kayaking trip. We're gonna go kayak the Maquoketa River. So the day we get ready to go, Roman shows up at my house, about an hour late, I'm sure, or something like that. And we're getting ready to go to the kayaks in the back, and we're driving up there. And so we get there, and we pull into the drop-off point. We need 2 cars, a drop-off and a take-out point. We pull into the drop-off point with both cars just to check it out, to see what's going on. And there's this little low-head dam that we're checking out. And at some point in time, Roman has wandered away, and I'm just still looking at the low-head dam, just seeing what's going on there. So then I look down, and there's this little, reef sticking out, this little sandbar sticking out further down the creek. And I look, and I see Roman, bent over, and I wasn't sure what he was doing, and it wasn't exactly clear, so I go down there, and I go ahead and say, Roman, what's going on? And he goes,
Mike, help me!
Roman, what's wrong?
Help me, the quicksand, it stole my sandal!
And being the good friend I am, I decided to go back to my truck and get my camera instead of helping right away. I go and grab a camera from my truck, and I come back, and by this time, Roman's got a good old big hole going. He's probably about a foot down, foot and a half down deep in there, and he's just tossing sand out every which way.
Mike, come help me, my sandal, it has been stolen!
Roman, what happened?
I jumped in to see the water and the quicksand, my foot went in the quicksand, it took my sandal.
So, I'm going, and I'm just taking pictures and laughing at this point, because, digging in that puddle. And he's like,
what are you doing? No, help me, quit taking pictures and help me!
So I'm just going ahead taking pictures, and at some point he decides to grab a stick and start digging away, and I just got this image of primitive Cro-Magnon man who just discovered tools. But he's digging away in there, and he's getting more and more agitated with every picture I take.
Mike, you are wasting time. We are late already, we have to get going, and you are not helping me. We must find my sandal.
So I take some pictures and point and laugh for a while and go,
Roman, just give it up, you're not gonna...
No, I am holding my sandal.
I said, Roman, are you sure you have your sandal?
Yes, it is in my hand.
I said, well, just pull it out then if you have the sandal.
No, it is stuck, I cannot get it, help me dig.
And I'm realizing as Roman's digging, the water's coming and just washing sand back in. So he's got a pretty good pit going, but it's starting to wash back in. And so finally he's like,
I am being serious, help me.
So, fine, I put my camera down and I start digging to help him. I can't believe that I'm actually digging in this pit to help him find his sandal, but so total about a half hour has gone by at this point where
Roman, we're not getting your sandal.
But I feel it.
I'm convinced he's holding on to a tree trunk or something, the tree roots or something like that, but he assures me he has his sandal, so we keep digging, and we're both muddy now at this point, and I'm just laughing the whole time. I'm sure Roman's very agitated at me as I'm laughing, taking pictures. So finally he gives up. I was like,
Roman, we have to go. You're late into my house. It's been half hour, 45 minutes here. We've been digging.
So he agrees. So we're getting back, and we go, and all of a sudden we get to this place with some gravel. And Roman's like,
ow, the gravel, it hurts my foot.
And I said, well,
if you hop on one foot, it shouldn't hurt. You should be okay.
Now in reality, I just wanted a picture of Roman hopping on one foot. So he starts hopping on one foot, and we're going back, and, so we go back, get to the truck, and we grab his car, and we drive down to the takeout point. And there we meet this nice old Iowan couple. And they're like,
what are you guys doing?
We said we're leaving his car here. We're going to go kayak and then, drive back and get my truck.
The water's kind of high. It's flooded. I don't know if you guys want to do that.
I said, well, I've done some more whitewater type kayaking before. This doesn't look too bad here. I understand it's high. We'll be careful.
But they were nice and they were concerned. And, I go to Rome and I was like,
well, they seem concerned. Maybe it is a problem.
Do not worry. I am an expert kayaker. I am very skilled.
I say,
all right, Roman.
I will help you.
I'm like, well, I've kayaked some, Roman. I don't know that I need help. I've got 2 kayaks. I've done some kayaking.
No. How many trips have you been on?
I don't know. I've been on 10 kayaking trips, 1 or 2 overnights. Most of them pretty long,
I have kayaked the...
And I don't remember the name of the river.
The Yellow River.
Or something like that.
I have kayaked the Yellow River. It was in Colorado and Nevada.
Wherever.
There's a long trip and it was very possibly dangerous, and I was fine. I will help you. I'll tell you what to do.
So the whole way back to the car is about a 45-minute drive between the place where we left his car for the takeout point and where we're going to put the kayaks in with my truck. He's telling me about his kayaking trip and how other people were having problems, but he was a great kayaker and nothing bad happened to him because he is such a skilled kayaker. So we're ready to go, and Roman sits in his kayak, and we're right below that right underneath that low-head dam. He pushes off his kayak, and immediately, within 2 seconds, you just see him start wobbling, and he rolls over and falls into the river. He gets up, and he was so close to the side, so it wasn't too deep, and I'm just laughing. And he pulls the kayak back, and he's like,
what? This is not funny?
I said, I'm sorry, Roman. It kind of is funny. What happened? There's some current or undertow from the low-head dam. What's going on?
I do not know what happened.
But so, Roman gets in, and we bail the kayak out of all the water that had gotten in there, and then we push him off, and he's all right this time. And I get in and push off, and we're going to start kayaking, and, we start having a good time, taking pictures and stuff, and I do have to admit there, sadly, I look a lot like Roman. We kind of match, which is kind of funny in of itself. except I don't have those really nice gloves that Roman has there, the expert kayaking gloves. So we keep going on, you know, and it's a nice little trip. And then all of a sudden we get to this part where one of the highways is crossing over one of those big bridges. And I should say, all along, Roman's trying to give me little tips and pointers on what I should be doing, even though he had already fallen in. You know, he's,
Do not go there and do it this way. And
I'm like,
You know, Roman, you fell in already. I really don't know that I should be taking kayaking advice from you.
but he was still giving it. And anyway, we gotta go underneath this bridge. And he was in front of me. He goes,
Mike, this is the safe way to go.
he was going to the left. It really made no difference. It was flat water everywhere, maybe a little mark, but no marks big enough to signify anything of dangerous underneath there. So anyway, he goes,
Mike, this is the safe way.
and immediately rolls over and falls into the water again. And this time, though, we were in the middle of the creek, so he goes down, you know, I'm thinking, oh boy. He comes up coughing and sputtering. I'm like,
You okay, Roman?
Yes.
as soon as he said yes, I went and found my camera and grabbed it out and, of course, took a picture, you know.
What are you doing taking pictures?
I was like, oh, yeah. I was like, are you alright though? Yeah.
I am fine.
Can you swim?
I am a great swimmer.
And I'm thinking to myself, dude, if you swim anywhere near as well as you kayak, well, you're in trouble, and I'm going to have to put my lifeguarding skills to the test again.
Hey, Roman, what happened? There's twice you fell in.
This is not the kayak I am used to. I am used to a different type of kayak.
So, you know, eventually we get everything set and we start kayaking again. And Roman wasn't giving me any advice on kayaking after that. He had settled down some and, you know, it was a nice kayaking trip. It was very scenic and I was very happy. I was surprised to find somewhere like this in Iowa. So it starts getting late, you know, because we got off to the late start and we lost time looking for sandals and everything else. It's getting dark as we pull out of at the takeout point. There's another group of Iowans there, you know, in a pickup truck.
Well, hey, what are you guys doing?
Oh, you know, we weren't kayaking.
Oh, dang, I wouldn't be on that river now.
They're telling us all these crazy stories of what happens later on in the summer with, you know, parties on the river and everything. So anyway, they offer us a beer and then they go ahead and drive our kayaks back up to Roman's car. And we stop off at the grocery store or the gas station to call our girlfriends to, you know, let them know, hey, we're going to be a little bit late. We said we'd be home by, I don't know, 9:30 or 10, and it's 10:30 now, and it's a good hour and a half drive yet to get home. So we go ahead and we're driving. We pull out of the gas station. I look behind me, and the car behind me doesn't have his headlights on, and I think it's Roman. And I have those two-way walkie-talkies with me when we drive up, so I call Roman, like,
Roman, your headlights on.
They are fine.
I said, all right, and I look, and the headlights still aren't on. So,
Roman, are your headlights on?
The headlights are fine.
okay, you know, I know they're not on.
You know, Roman, your headlights, are they on?
The headlights are fine.
And I'm thinking, maybe it isn't Roman behind me. I was like,
Do you see that car without headlights on?
The headlights are fine.
Hey, all right, Roman, the headlights are fine.
and then all of a sudden I see these red and blue lights flashing, and a cop car coming down the road, you know, pulling out of wherever it was. I'm like,
Roman, the cops are coming. Are you sure your headlights are on?
My headlights are fine.
and I see the car, looking in my rearview mirror, I see this car get pulled over, and then all of a sudden I hear,
I am pulled over.
so I didn't have my license on me, and I had two kayaks sticking out of the back of my truck, so I go a little further up. I didn't want to pull over with them and not have a license on me or anything. And so I pull into this truck sales place and just kind of wait, and I'm looking and don't see anything happening. I really couldn't see the cop car a little further up, so I call Roman.
Roman, you okay? What's going on?
No answer from Roman. And at this point, I just start thinking about what just happened. And cop, you imagine being a cop. You're a cop, and you see this car driving down the road with no headlights on. So you go and you pull it over, and you get there, and you look at it and you see Roman. But not only is it Roman, but it's Roman covered in mud, and his hair's wet still from falling in, and he's all muddy and dirty, and then I realize he only has one sandal. So, and he's telling this cop that he's been kayaking, which is why he's wet and dirty and only has one sandal. But there's no kayaks in sight because I'm further up. So I'm just imagining this conversation in my head that the cop and Roman must be having. So after a while, though, there's still no Roman. I'm calling the walkie-talkie, nothing. So I'm laughing. I turn around and start driving back to see what's going on. And I see the cop. And as I pass by, I look and I see Roman standing on one shoe, just kind of looking a little dejected, and with the cop searching his trunk. So I think, oh, I should not stop now. That would be a bad time to stop. So I pull back over and I keep waiting a little bit longer. And I'm calling Roman. I hear nothing. And I see the cop car go by me and go away. I was like, all right. So I go and I start driving to go find Roman. No Roman's car, no Roman around. I'm going, geez, you know, I'm taking the route back, calling Roman. I'm beginning to get worried at this point. I'm like, did they take him to jail for something? Did they have someone else drive his car? You know, did they call another officer to take the car? What's going on? So I get home and wait about 15 minutes. He's still not there. I'm going, uh-oh. You know, he was ahead of me. Where is he? So I call his place. I was like,
Stephanie, is Roman back yet?
No.
Oh, all right, well, he may be a little late.
I was like, she's like,
Okay.
so now I'm wondering, do I have to drive back up there and find him? What's going to go on, you know? And then Roman arrives at my door.
I was like, Roman, what happened, dude?
He tells me, he's like,
Well, you know, I got pulled over and I had changed when I was waiting for you to come back and pick up the kayaks into my pants, my new pants, you know, because it was cold out. But I forgot to take the tags off the new pants. So the cops pulled me over and, you know, asked me to get out of the truck, and I was trying to explain to them I was kayaking, you know, and they asked me if I had anything to drink, and I said, yeah, one, and, you know, and then I realized that they saw this tag hanging off my pants. They said, sir, do you have any other clothes without tags in your car?
And he goes,
I told them no, of course, but they thought they were stolen. So they asked to search my truck, you know, and they're search my car, and they're searching the whole car looking for more stolen clothing, and, you know. And then finally they let me go, but they were very thorough. They searched everything. I, in fact, told them, you guys are doing a very thorough job. But, you know, they thanked me for being cooperative, and then I came back here.
and, well, we unloaded the kayaks, and that was the end of the first kayaking adventure we had.